Hi, this is Michelle Sherman from www.mishrx.com, your online HIV pharmacist, bringing you a Medicare Part D update. Today is Friday, October 14th, and tomorrow, October 15th, is the start of the Medicare Part D open enrollment period. So I wanted to bring you this video just to jog your memory a little bit and see if you're happy with your Medicare Part D plan or if you need to make any changes. The time to make that change is now. Between October 15th and December 7th, you will be allowed to change your plan if you have Medicare Part D and Medicare and you're not eligible for the low income subsidy or you're not a dual eligible. What does it mean to be a dual eligible? That is somebody that has both Medicare and Medicaid. If you're living in California, that means you have Medi-Cal and Medicare. When you do have Medicare and Medi-Cal or Medicaid, you are able to change your Medicare Part D plan anytime you'd like during the year. But for those of you who do not qualify for the low income subsidy or are not dual eligible, you have to make your changes in this open enrollment period, which, as I mentioned, begins tomorrow, October 15th, and ends on December 7th. So I have here on my screen just a little bit of things to show you and updates that you can see. In the slide of mine over here, I have compared the Medicare Part D plans from when they began in 2006 all the way through to 2012 for next year. As you can see, the deductibles each year have gone up slightly from $250 in 2006, and they've gone up to what's going to be $320 in 2012. This year, 2011, it was $310. You can see this on this Kaiser slide here on the left-hand side. You can see the graph with the years, and it's gone up slightly each year. The initial coverage limit, which you can see on this Kaiser slide and on my slide here, over here, initially started at $2,250 and has gone up slightly each year. This year was $2,840, and next year it's going to be $2,930. So you can see there's on the graph there's been a slight increase in that. What does that mean for you? Well, come January 1st, your prescription coverage begins. Each year begins on January 1st. So for next year, you're going to get your prescriptions filled, and you'll be in the initial coverage limit up to $2,930. What does that mean? Well, with your HIV meds, because those drugs are so expensive, many of you get through that initial coverage limit. Some of you in the very first month, and many others in the second month. Between the initial coverage limit and the catastrophic coverage limit, which this year was $6,448 and next year is going to be $6,658, we have the coverage gap, or what's also known as the donut hole. And you can see each year that too has increased a little bit. In 2006, the coverage in the donut hole was $2,850. This year was $3,608, and next year it's going to be $3,728. So what that means essentially is between this $2,930 and the $6,658, you are essentially responsible for out-of-pocket costs getting your medications during that period. For most people with HIV, the ADAP programs take care of your coverage for drugs that are covered on the ADAP formulary within that coverage limit. For drugs that are not in the coverage on the ADAP formulary, you will be responsible for paying for those drugs in that coverage limit. For brand name drugs, so those medications that you're on that do not have a generic, you will be responsible for paying 50% of the drug during that coverage gap, or for generics, the cost is much lower, if those are only for drugs that are not covered on the ADAP formulary. Once you reach the catastrophic coverage limit, then you're covered again on the Medicare Part D plan, either with no copays, depending on if you're eligible for the low income subsidy, or if you are a dual eligible, or for very little or much smaller copays during that time. So for people with HIV, because of the cost of the drugs, it doesn't take very long. You know, some people 2, 3, 4 months to get to this catastrophic coverage limit, and then you're covered on your Part D plan with lower or no copays for the rest of the year. And so that's how the Medicare Part D works. So, review your plan that you're on with your pharmacy or your pharmacist. And if, you think that you need to make any changes, if your plans have changed, there are some plans, benchmark plans that have no monthly premiums. So just depending on the plan you have and what suits you and what drugs are covered, you might want to consider changing your plan. Or if you're happy with the plan you have, just stick with what you have. So that's a quick review. This slide of mine on the side just has the same kind of things that are on this Kaiser slide here. I also wanted to show you just another little bit here. If you can see, these are all the Medicare Part D, the prescription drug plans, the standalone plans. Those are plans that just cover your prescription drugs. The Medicare Advantage plans, those are like the HMO type plans. So for those of you who want to just keep your Medicare and be able to go and see any doctor you want, then the prescription drug plan, the PDP, is for you. If you want to be within a network like an HMO Medicare Advantage plan, then there are those for you as well. So these are by state, also by year, how many prescription drug plans there are in each state. So here we have California. In 2006, we had 47 prescription drug plans. We're going to have 33, just the same as we had in 2011 for next year. And then you can go through and you can see each state, depending on where you live, how many of those plans they're going to have for you. Let me see if there's anything interesting over here. This is the low income subsidy enrollment in benchmark plans as of 2012. There are going to be 5.7 million low income subsidy enrollees in those plans. So it's just something that you can see. But I just wanted to give you a quick overview, and most importantly, a reminder that Medicare Part D open enrollment period begins tomorrow, October 15th, and ends on December 17th. This is different from the way it's been in the past, where it starts on November 15th through December 31st. So this year, it's earlier. So be sure that you get in and you get that done. For those of you living in California, please make sure that if you have ADAP that covers your copays, your premiums, your deductibles, and things like that, that you make sure you've re-enrolled and your ADAP is current. Remember, it expires every year on your birthday. So if your birthday has been before today, October 14th, and you did not re-enroll, please make sure to make your ADAP appointment and go and re-enroll. So this is my Medicare Part D update for you for the open enrollment period. My name is Michelle Sherman from meshrx.com. Please, if you haven't joined yet, our membership is free. Go check out our site. I'm your online HIV pharmacist. So if you have any questions, just pop on the site and email me your questions. Thank you so much and have a great day.